You're muted again. I don't know what happened there.
Got one there.
That's mute.
Excellent. Thank you.
That's okay. Right, sorry.
I'm blind, actually. I'm officially blind.
I'll let Robert do it. You know, I'll never get it.
I can't even see the arrow.
Anyway,
I'm not blind drunk.
no, you're
Aims
not.
that way.
These first two poems I wrote today, actually, because I'm only just getting back into the mode of writing, and I heard from my sister who's in Bali, and I think they'd gone to Java to see some volcanoes. So it just made me think, and I wrote this poem. It's called "The Evil One." This taste for destruction. The elements concur. Why bother with half measures when dipping your toe in sludge? The volcano is weighing up its losses. My sister fled from a tree full of orange monkeys, snarling aggressively, disregarding prophecies full of horror, full of dread. She lowered her head like a black bull in a field and charged up the steep slope. Sunset in the volcanic heart, full of the sacrifices to placate the evil one. Then scramble down to grab the bodies and feast on them that night. Poor starving ancient tribes feeding off their own sacrifices. I recognise the same festival as in Kathmandu, an invitation to the spectacle. Would you like to watch in the great temple? It's well worth it. No thanks, we replied, having witnessed a flight of bats from surrounding mountains. My friend guided me away from the sight of a decapitated goat in the gutter. Ancient ecstasy of adoration and pain, as well as many other assets. My sister wipes her eyes and continues her flight up the hill. Vulcan sizzles and burns as Venus escapes the flames of love and anguish. Her bare feet blaze as she flies, her thighs burned by his desire. The ancient monkeys gradually turn tail back through the jungle for whence they came. Look at the flowers. Look at the flowers shaken in the breeze by thunderous steps. They're upside down flaming lanterns she used for her, winging it round, just like the giant butterflies risen from the ground in the splendour of trees. And the other one I wrote today is The Sandman Cometh. This came from the World Radio, which I often listen to. I find it fascinating. I listen half the night sometimes, but it's called The Sandman Cometh. It's about people in Cambodia, actually, and what's happening to the lakes. Sand is why they're here. Take it, take it. Empty the lake of water, decimate the fish, let them build their high rises, hotels, new homes for the lake dwellers, and tourist gold. These sellers of magic hewn from rocks, once living in beauty, children of nature landscape of Cambodian batik before the war. Concrete the lake, concrete the trees, burn down the houses. Here's our new base. It's a disgrace, this race against time, this taste for destruction, a chastening disruption in this ancient flow of dream time. This is Allah will provide. We've spent a little bit of time in the desert when we were in India and the Thar deserts, and she reminded me. I just got back to that this week, and it's called Allah Will Provide. Wild desert blasts carried far and wide the north wind, curls whipping and lathering the clouds. The crowds are arranging themselves away from the whipping flying sands, hurled by sandmen from many distant lands. Be quick to hide behind your camel's hump. Their bells continue jangling. as camel traders bicker, count out notes, soon to hide, then stuff their fortunes under a cloth, defining time as a bent Dali clock, a clock forever needing mending. Now at the oasis, sweet water eases the pain of centuries. Turbaned men and boys collect the life-giving liquid in their bottles. In a moonlight trance, flicking pearls from their beads. Women make flat bread in the sands, which retain enough heat to cook. Delicious eaten with honey, dates and figs. The big beasts are now drinking long and hard, collecting for thirsty days ahead. Allah will provide. And I've just got one more, if that's another short one, actually. I wrote it
Please.
2 years ago. Is that okay? Just you've got. I know you're going to read as well. Just one
No,
short one.
absolutely. I was encouraging you to do it.
Okay, thank you. When we spent some happy days in Pushkar, which was again, obviously in India, it's a wonderful place to be, and I think you'd like it. It's very, there's no meat eaten at all, nothing, and it's kind of very surreal, quite surreal and calm as well at the same time. It's sort of a mixture. Anyway, peacocks and rainbows, Pushkar, shape shifting through my dreams, escape from the pink city. In wild array, a sachet of pointillism, an arc de ciel in the evening light. Rain spins through shimmering feathers. Is this real? Is this real? This phantom shimmy shaking, an arc de ciel in the sparkling rain. It has passed through my psyche. Gone are the desert winds of change. All is revealed, chameleon-like, observing such wraiths of blue light. I'm obsessed with their beauty. They have landed here to entertain with their show set in such a palladium. Nothing else can compete with them. Surely they came down in a UFO in search of their lovers. These wonderful birds from outer space, a trance-like invasion of the purest love. Perform their rain dance, see with 1,000 eyes, all sparkling with intent, their desire to procreate. Do go to Pushkar if you can. We want to go back there actually someday.
Yeah, we're in call back there by Swami.
Yeah, we keep.
Has a PhD in physics.
He just gave up to become a holy man, and very nice, very lovely man actually. So anyway.
Astrophysicists and soothsayers. Everywhere else is verboten since the airlift. I can hear voices in our whirlwind journey. An overnight sitting in Parliament. Churchill in his duologue on the soundtrack reading Chandrasekhar, a survivor of the world wars. Lord Gordon of Khartoum recalling his last day, climbing Kilimanjaro, smouldering volcanic ash. Not for the world, this nuclear standoff. The Molotov conspiracy, the CIA anticipates sleepwalking into nuclear winter planet Earth. You're a German, aren't you? After Sarajevo, in the aftermath of the Battle of Stalingrad, I'm at the resettlement campus in Berkeley, working on the uranium enrichment project. Columbus, Ohio to Arizona is a testing flight. Niels Bohr's quantum mechanics and Einstein. Otherwise, I'm at Bletchley, a code breaker, listening to Igor Stravinsky on the radio. We're astrophysicists and soothsayers, drifting flotsam and jettison spacecraft orbiting the shadow of the cloak of invisibility, traveling from Guantanamo to Lubyanka. Everywhere else is verboten since the airlift. I remember the last time I saw Kaliningrad. The books from the Hermitage and synagogues burnt after a shot glass of vodka and slivovitz. In the forest area, in the winter, a necropolis, retreating from Belarusian territory. The apparatchiks in evidence, Hanoi or Tokyo, a realignment from the Eastern Front, listening to radioactive dust particles spinning over the Atlantic convoys, remembering the alliance to the endgame, Krakow to Lublin in Grosvenor Square. The Chinese government agency will help the repatriation of displaced refugees. We consult crystallography and the I Ching on the shoreline side of the Gaza Strip. Re-education. In the meantime, I'll keep waiting for Solzhenitsyn's astrophysicists. Otherwise, I'm a code breaker in asylum, believing in a one world vision of realpolitik. And on Benjamin returning, I remember being born in the ruins of a city, confined to an experimental testing clinic. We died. We're all learning from Nostradamus' cathartic vision. Genesis rewritten by monks in lamasseries, an acre of freedom, reliving the memories hemorrhaging from Ind and Geneva. We're traveling to Jerusalem after Dachau and Treblinka. Our ancestors' lives, a mandala of sand awaiting exorcism. I remember the olive groves above Judea and Golgotha. Our archive was a deep silence, totally indescribable. I was a blind eye in the last night before a disastrous harvest. We're bled to the edge of the ghosts in the grey photos. The only picture of my grandparents, Benjamin returning home. We tasted a bit of aloes, a communist party in the sepulchre, travelling back to Kaliningrad to discover our old threshold, listening to Mahler's Resurrection Symphony, A Night's Dream. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you very much, both of you. Susie, what an incredible moment here where you have concrete the lake, concrete the trees. I was so stunned by that whole passage there in this ancient flow of dream time. You have cellars of magic hewn from rocks. Uh, one of my other favorite lines, sunset in the volcanic heart. And you could take that as like an interior image, sunset in the volcanic heart, or in the landscape, like the heart of a volcano, and it's quite quite a brilliant image there. And I love this moment of pathos for you know earlier cultures, poor starry ancient tribes feeding on their own sacrifices. Oh my. Okay, and then go ahead.
I was saying that they sacrificed animals as big as goats into the volcano, and then they scrambled down and got them out to eat.
Oh my.
There was I know quite
Wow.
incredible. That's
And
Indonesia.
Robert, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That's in Indonesia, in Java, where she was. My sister's been there, and I haven't shown her the poem yet. I think she'll be interested.
Um, Robert, you have this phrase, and this recurs, I think, in your work, remembering the freedom. And yes, it is something that we remember. And you take us to this biblical place Uh, I remember the olive tree, and then you talk about Golgotha, and uh, it's really haunting and really gorgeously captured the way you're doing it. And as always, the astrophysicists and soothsayers. Um, I love the way you hark back to the wise ones in any form, the wise ones, the oracles, the truth tellers, the sages. Um, and one of my favorite things living at my guru's ashram was the mandalas they would make of sand for the holidays, and then sweep them all away at the end of the day.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
both so
you.
much. All right, thank you again.